Hi everyone and welcome to your daily tarot reading for Thursday the 5th of July. It's a pleasure to be with you today. I'm using the Radiant Rider-Waite deck for this reading. Let's see what's in store for you today. We have the High Priestess, the Seven of Wands in reverse, and Death. So the High Priestess is the second card of the Major Arcana. She's really the ability that every person has to connect with the higher realms and to serve as an oracle. So if you look at the Fool's journey in the tarot, it starts with the Fool, then it becomes the Magician. So an idea becomes realized. Then you get the High Priestess, which is connection with spirit. And then it's the Empress starting something new. So the High Priestess is a reminder that you're a spiritual being having a human experience, that you live on a planet which is all about duality, black and white, and that whenever you whenever you start a new project, or you look at a new beginning, or you look at making changes, instead of just asking, what am I going to do? You say, what am I going to do in conjunction with all this knowledge that I have? The veil here that's covering, there's a giant sea behind her, and that giant sea is an ocean of all knowledge that is kept about all of us, and that allows her to realize that we're all one. All of us human beings are one entity, and because we are all connected, there is this collective unconscious. We can tune into each other's energy and we can find things out about each other. So the pomegranate is a symbol of fertility and richness and abundance. So when you say, okay, what am I going to do with my talents? But then you say also angels, guides, ancestors, Holy Spirits, angels, Moses, Jesus, God. Guys, help me, please. What am I supposed to do with this? Then what you're doing is you're removing the veil, you're asking for help, and you immediately have access to all the knowledge in the world. By then tuning in, you have the information that will allow you to overcome fear, and it will allow you to take destined, informed action that is beyond good and evil because it's divinely guided. And that means that it changes the surface of the world. It goes beyond what already is, and it steps out of that, and it creates something unique and totally new. So it's important to tune in, to tap into yourself, and to realize that the answers lie within. The next card is the Seven of Wands. And the Seven of Wands, you can see a young man struggling with his life purpose and feeling like he's blocked. He can't move forward. His emotions are keeping him kind of trapped. There's a lot of competition. He wants to do something, but he feels like he can't get a foot in. He feels like there are a lot of people against him. There's just obstacles, and that can manifest itself in many different ways. If you're just a journalist graduate from university and you're trying to get into TV, then welcome to the other 10,000 people who are going for the same job. If you feel like you're in if you're African American, for instance, and you live in a state where you feel that racism is still rife, and you're trying to get something started, you may feel like things are being blocked in your community because of your ethnicity and because people are prejudiced. It could also be that you have this passion and you're trying to move forward with it, but you also have so many other passions and you're so unfocused and all over the place that you can't really move forward until you choose something that you actually care about. So these are all problems that are presented by the Seven of Wands. That's in reverse. And what that means is that you don't need to struggle to get anywhere in life. You don't need to you don't need to sort out your own head. You don't need to worry about the prejudiced people living in your town, in your country. You don't need to worry about any of the obstacles that are there. All you need to do is listen, Ask, what are we going to do? Pull the veil back, and the universe is going to hand you your wand, and it's going to say, here you go. Here's the thing that you're meant to do, and watch all of these things go poof, 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 poof. Because as soon as you realize what drives you and what your fire is, that immediately makes you unique. Because the universe, yes, we are all one, but we're all a different facet of the same thing. So whatever this young man grows is going to be completely unique and different than what any other young man or young woman would grow. So it's incredibly important that he's able to achieve his purpose, because for him personally, on a spiritual level, he wants to progress. But also for the planet, it means that he helps us move forward beyond what is and helps us step into the future. This is a gate card. But rather than going into this, we're coming out of a place of all-knowing, and because of that all-knowing, we're presented with a wand, which knocks all of these other wands away, and you're able to move forward. So this is the death of being disconnected and feeling completely blocked in your life. If you decide to focus on the things that you care about and the thing that you feel is best about you, what your real talent is, or if you have the question, dear universe, what is my life purpose? And you've been struggling with that forever and ever and ever and ever, and you've tried different jobs. Your 20s, you've gone from job to job to job. Even your 30s, you've gone to job. What is my life purpose? Please, just tell me so I can do it. This is one of those days where you can put an end to the unknowing. And you can bring knowledge into your life, and you can open a path that simply clears for you to move ahead. So you've got to make a decision. You've got to decide. There's a lot of emotional energy floating about. You can either use that to help other people who are struggling in their lives and who are trying to put an end to something that does not work for them anymore. Or you can do that for yourself. You can use the energy and point it in your direction, remove the veil, connect with your higher self, your higher power, or just the inner flame. You know, if your name is Anna, then you just say, Anna, we know the last 25 years have been really not what we expected, but come on, let's get back to who we really are. I remember you. I was born as you. Let's get back to myself and really just say, what is it that I want? And then you can really just put an end to chaos and back and forth and never getting anywhere and being stuck. Rip the curtain aside, get the information you need, stridently march and stridently kind of traipse or dance past these pillars, because you're really doing something which is going to make a unique contribution to this planet, but only if you connect. Now, really the solution to every problem, Wayne Dyer, I can never remember his name. He died recently, a few years ago. He wrote a book once. He said there's a spiritual solution to every problem. And I read that book and I really realized that, and what we all need to realize is that we are spiritual beings having a human experience, and that this world isn't real, it's an illusion. And whatever wonderful thing is inside of you, when you make that and when you add that to the world, then you're creating the world the way it's meant to be. In 200 years, people are going to look back on this time and they're going to look at the Britney Spearses of the world, and they're going to look at the Donald Trumps of the world, and they're going to look at the Oprahs of the world, the famous people, the people who are celebrated in our society. What is it that you can do that is going to add something to society for which you will be celebrated? You really have the potential to discover a huge life purpose which you're going to be remembered for, 1 and 2 being a relationship, because you're using your information to overcome obstacles and to put an end to non-productivity, which really allows you to create something which is going to last for a very long time and make a positive contribution to your chosen cause. So where do you want to fight fear? Do you want to fight fear with homeless young people? Or do you want to write a self-help book on how to overcome heartbreak when a divorce happens? How is it that you can help? How is it that you, when you tap into the watery side of yourself, if you're an Aries, if you're an Aquarius, if you're a Scorpio or Virgo, doesn't matter. We all have a watery, intuitive side to ourselves. We all have an imagination. We all have a sense of humor. We all have a soul. What does your soul say today about how you should be moving forward and what needs to come to an end today? Do you need to stop being so indecisive? Do you need to stop thinking about helping someone and actually start doing it? Or do you need to stop putting yourself down and self-harming yourself and deal with your inner problems? Why do you hate yourself? Why is there self-loathing to the extent that the only thing that makes you feel better is cutting yourself? And you can put an end to that once and for all by getting the understanding and the knowledge of that. There are certain things, when you're in recovery, you make an inventory list. It's your step 4. And you list all the things you're afraid of, the things where you've harmed other people, the things that you resent. And you make a list of all of these things, and it really you really start to see who you are. And on that list also can be fears and things like that. So I use the example of self-harm. So that would be on her list. So everything that we do has a payoff. And self-harming is releasing the pain, like by creating other pain that mitigates the emotional pain that's being held within. So once you realize that, then it's like, okay, let's deal with the emotional pain and see where that's come from. Maybe a parent told me I was never worth anything and I'd be better off never having been born at all, and I've internalized that, and now I've kept that negative dialogue going. That's the saddest thing about abuse of children, is that the children internalize it and continue it into their adulthood. And it's only through these wonderful wake-up calls that some people never ever have. Some people never have a spiritual awakening in their life, and they just are they struggle in their ego all their life. Today you have the opportunity to really have that spiritual awakening, to understand what it is about you that has caused you the emotional pain and how you can put an end to it, mainly by handing it over to a loving higher power, to your loving higher self, to embrace it, to say, I accept that about myself, and I reintegrate. And I come back together, and despite those things, now I'm free to move forward. So it's about facing the truth and being liberated by it. 2 and 7 is 9, and 13 is 22. 22 is the master number of the builder. So 13 and 7 is 20, 22. The master number of the builder is the vibration which correlates with creating something, building something tangible in the real world, which serves as your legacy and which will stand long after you've gone. So there are a lot of people who are going to discover their main real purpose today of how they can serve and help other people and make the world a better place. That is not a silly statement. We can make the world a better place. Every single person can either add joy or hate. And if you're adding joy to the world, you're making the world a better place, okay? If you're smiling at people, you're making the world a better place. But with this, 22 means you can really build something which you will be remembered for. Like I mentioned the celebrities earlier. If you embrace this life purpose that's delivered to you today, and the people who are receiving something like this today, get ready to do something really, really big and to really let go of things internally that have held you back. Have an amazing day. Have a life-changing, powerful day. If you're struggling with any of these things, if you still can't get to the life purpose and you'd like a private reading, some people, that's why people like me exist. It's sometimes our divinity is obscured by all of these layers of things which we've placed on them, like self-hatred and self-loathing. You can't really hear your own feelings if as soon as you try and tune in, all you get is, you're not good enough, you're not worth it. You're going to go somewhere else and go play tennis instead of listen to that. So, if you're in a place where you're not able to tune in really to yourself, you feel disconnected, that's why people like me then are useful, because I can look at your chart. It shows me what your life purpose is. That's the astrology chart. I can look at what you're talented at when it comes to work, what's destined for you in the area of career and love and romance and family and spiritual progress. And I can answer specific questions for you as well if you like. So we're all at different stages. Today is a wonderful opportunity for you guys who are just getting that ding moment. Please don't dismiss it and honor it. It's 22. It's the master number of the builder. It's a really valuable idea. So make a note of it, jot it down, and don't just let it go. And anyone who's struggling, and if you still get something and it seems totally impractical or like you're living in fantasy land, don't dismiss it. Write it down and see if you can actually do it. That's your mission. Have a fabulous day. If you would like a private reading with me, please get in touch via the website. It's gregoryscott.com. Click on the readings tab to order your reading. Have a fabulous day, and I'll speak to you tomorrow.